Shout out Claritin. She's not pulling through.
The peppermint oil is, though.
In this video, we're going to be talking about the subconscious mind and the power that it has over your entire life. Maybe you keep attracting same person, different font. We're going to dive into more of that in this video. So stay tuned. If you're new here, my name is Jessy.
And my name is B, and we are here to help women heal themselves from the inside out using things like energy work, breath work, and conscious coaching. So if that sounds in alignment with you, please stick around for more. Hit that subscribe for more videos.
Yeah, okay. Subconscious mind. It's a lot going on there. Okay, so if you didn't know, your subconscious mind makes up 95% of your mind, and your conscious mind makes up 5%. So your conscious mind is what you're fully aware of, logical, rational. Your subconscious is beneath that. So your stories that you're attached to, your belief systems, your values, the things that have molded you since childhood.
We're going to get into like what we wish we knew, because I think that the sooner you learn stuff like this and you're open to receiving the information, that's number one. And then number two, you are committed to doing the rewire. That's what gets you out of the patterns, out of the loops. And if I knew this sooner, maybe, just maybe, I would have gotten out of attracting super toxic people, not just in relationships, but people around me too, people in business, clients, friendships, all of that. So if you are like, you're sort of like coming online and you're awakening to, I'm stuck. I feel like I'm noticing patterns in my life, but I don't know how to get out of it. Like, this video is perfect for you, because we were once there and we have gotten ourselves out of certain patterns and loops by subconscious rewiring. And let's not forget, self-love. That's the key. That's a little sprinkle, but it's not just a sprinkle, because it's super deep. Okay, so let's get into why and how the subconscious mind totally molds your reality. So before we deep dive into like an example, I think it's like good to set this up with, from the ages of like, some people say 0 to 7 or 8, but I believe it's also like 0 to like 18. You're just like a sponge.
Yeah.
You are absorbing everything. And especially when you're younger, even when you're in the womb, actually.
And might I add, you're also absorbing things while, like you said, while you're in the womb, and you might be carrying things that aren't even yours, like
100%.
like your mother's codes, your grandmother's codes. It's ancestral codes, like the whole nine. There might be things that are coming up in the present day that like it's not yours. It's not yours to carry. But it is up to you to decipher what is yours and what is not.
Right. Once you become aware of like all of this, then it's your responsibility. I love that. So during that time when we're a kid, we are absorbing everything, and we are being shaped by the world around us, the people around us. It's not just our parents, it's society, it's like other peers, but we look to whoever's taking care of us, whoever's like in our most immediate field. We typically take on their belief systems. And it's not so much what they say, it's how they are being, and it's how they act. So if a mom has like low self-esteem, but she's telling her daughter, you're so amazing, you're so confident, you're so brave, the daughter's most likely going to get those codes of like low self-esteem just because of how that sort of works. So we're going to give an example of how Jessy actually just shifted some belief systems, and she's seeing in her reality how much things have changed. And I've like witnessed it in real time, and it's super, super dope.
Yeah.
So let's go to like, so what was your belief about men growing up?
Well, thank you for asking. My belief system, you know, now that I've unpacked more and more, started when I was super young, and I witnessed my dad, you know, stalking my mom and harassing my mom. And now I can understand why I felt like men were unsafe and a little dangerous. And also, I think growing up too, it's kind of crazy because like you know what's going on when you're a kid, but you don't really know what's going on. And I was still very close to my dad growing up. You know, I didn't understand what was happening. So when I came out, that was like another kind of like severance of our relationship. He, you know, I was raised by, you know, my dad, and he cut me off. So I also like lost trust in men, and I didn't realize how deep that actually went. And then I started to not trust men and not feel safe around them, or I was kind of, especially when I came out and I started presenting the way I do, I was met with a lot of insecure men coming at me a lot of the times. And I was also anticipating it too. So I was essentially calling it in. But recently we've gotten some negative feedback, negative comments from men. And one of the comments kind of got to me. I'm like, why? Because it was probably like a couple back to back to back. And I was like, dude, I'm so sick of these insecure men projecting their insecurities on me. Like, I'm over it. And then B was like, well, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, you have really good men in your life. You have good men that are friends with you, like, that look up to you, that you've helped. And that shifted, and quite literally we said together, the intention moving forward was to call in, men who respected our marriage, respected our relationship, respected us as individuals, respected us as women. And literally that totally shifted something for me, because the next day I woke up and someone that I hadn't talked to in probably a decade, we were stationed together, and he reached out to me, and the first thing he says is, like, your love is so beautiful. Like, I respect your relationship. Like, I really look up to what you're doing. Like, it's so inspirational. And I was just like, whoa. I didn't connect the dots immediately. I remember going to her and telling her about it, and she was like, you totally shifted that. You shifted that. And then recently I had the opportunity to expand even more into this new belief system that men are safe, and men can be safe and trustworthy, and like respect and honor you. And of course, when we get to the retreat, there's 2 men in our group, and I was met with respect, and I trusted them, and it felt really good to open up to them in that way. And that shifted me. It just expanded my trust even more. And then now going out into the world, I had like a really crazy experience yesterday. I'm like, oh wow, I went to Costco on a Sunday. I know, insane. But I was greeted by so many men who were just like, oh, you go ahead. I wasn't getting like crazy looks like I normally do. I wasn't like, people were just like being so kind and chivalrous, I might add. And and then I stopped to get her some donuts, and the guy in there was just, I don't know if he was hitting on me. It didn't feel creepy, but the craziest synchronicity was, his name is Victor, and that's one of our mentors from the retreat that we just came from. So he just complimented me. He was like, wow, your art is so beautiful. And then I took my sunglasses off, and he was like, oh my God, you have the most stunning eyes I've ever seen. And then he gave me 2 free donuts.
Thanks, baby.
So shout out Victor. Shout out Victor at Boza Donuts, because I don't know. So now I'm just kind of like, I'm not anticipating that anymore when I go out. I'm actually anticipating being greeted with respect and not this weird animosity or like this weird insecurity thing that has happened in the past. Like, I've detached myself from that outcome.
Yeah. And I really feel like those negative, like, YouTube comments kept coming up for a reason. Like, it seemed obvious to me because I'm on the outside, right? And it wasn't happening to me. But it seemed like an obvious thing coming up for you in order to like clear that and heal that, because you were kind of like one foot in, oh, I can trust some men, you know, you have like some good male friends from the army, good experiences, like brothers, but then you have this other foot, you had this other foot that was like, men suck, they're unsafe, you can't trust them, even the ones that are close to you, you can't trust. Like I was just hearing all of these like belief systems that I identified with too, but I was like, there is some medicine in this for her, and we are choosing our reality all of the time, consciously or unconsciously, and that's another really powerful thing that I wish I knew earlier. And in you choosing to still subscribe to these belief systems about men, you were in fact calling that in. And it's not to like blame or shame or anything. It's just a fact, and just to see it for what it is. It's neutral. But if you want to have like a more positive experience with men, and if you don't want these icky comments, let's shift into something more empowering. And you did so quickly. The universe showed you so quickly, literally within like 24 hours or less. And you just keep receiving that feedback. And that isn't to say that you're not going to ever experience another icky man again, right?
No, of course. Like, of course. But it's going to be a difference in the way that I handle it. I'm going to see it from a different lens, from a different perspective, kind of like a bird's eye view. And you can choose whether to take someone's projection on or not. You can just see it for what it is. You're aware that it's a projection. You can either choose to pick it up or step aside and like leave it on the ground.
Absolutely. And you can also, like, this is another thing that I wish that I knew before, like earlier in life, is that when negative things, when challenges are coming up, when pain is coming up, instead of saying, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why is God punishing me? Whatever that story is that makes you a victim, you can ask, what's the medicine in this for me? What's the lesson here for me? And me doing that with every challenge that comes up, no matter big or small, it has been so empowering, so helpful. And I usually see like what's in it for me. And in that moment, like you chose to take your power back instead of being a victim, like, oh my God, you know, and like staying in like really heavy, dense, negative energy. Like you felt it, you moved through it, and then you chose something in more alignment with you. And that was just like very cool to witness. So this, I think, is a testament for anyone who wants to shift a story, a narrative. Sometimes it's not like as easy. For whatever reason, I think you were just ready, but repetition is super important with this. So use like your favorite affirmations to like support you in whatever you're rewiring into. And also, this is what we do as conscious coaches. We help you actually pinpoint your belief systems from childhood. We get to like the root, the core of it, and then we help you rewrite those narratives to something more empowering so that you start healing from the inside out, literally. If you try to heal from the outside in and start doing all these things on the external world, you're going to work so much harder rather than just going within and shifting this. So we really help you do that. If you feel a call to like, yes, I am ready for this medicine, I'm ready to rewrite the stories, let us know. Drop a comment, book a Calendly session with us, a free consult. We're here for you. We love doing this work. Like, it's getting me so fired up. I freaking love it. And I want everyone to know that this is how you heal. And this is one of the most powerful things that I've done to heal. It's not the only way to heal, but it's a super powerful way to do it.
And it's an expedited way to do it. Like you were saying, if you try to work from the outside in, it's going to be a lot harder. And why would you want to work harder when you can work smarter? I'm just saying. And I'm talking to all my masks out there and queer people, because I know that we are not alone in our feelings about this rewiring our belief systems around men. And I would like to shed some more light on that. Like, I can help you the same way. Like, maybe you didn't have the same experience as me. Maybe yours stemmed from something different from childhood. But we can trace that back, baby, and we can get you in a new timeline, shifted, and calling in really positive experiences.
Right, right. Because another thing that we learned at the retreat, this retreat in Sedona was so freaking powerful, you guys. the other thing is like, if we have like I think some woman actually was talking about her view of men and how it was, I just realized like the parallels of that. So many women too, like cis women just have this, and straight women. But she was talking about her perception of men and how they've been so unsafe and like toxic masculinity and all this stuff. And the one of the men that was, you know, hosting it, he was like, well, that's a skewed like view of men. And we did have 2 examples of men that like weren't icky and creepy and didn't have like toxic masculinity and were very in touch with their feminine sides. So that was making me think too, because I'm like, oh, right, like it's just what I'm calling in. There are so many men out there that are just like, breathe. There are so many men out there that are not toxic, that are safe, that are comfortable and secure within themselves and are able to hold women in just like a really loving, trusting, caring, nurturing way without being icky.
Right.
Okay, so self-love really ties into this because I feel like self-love is the foundation of it all. Like, you must love yourself or be committed to like loving yourself on that journey in order to like really do the work to like shift all of this, because we're talking about it maybe like it's kind of easy, and it totally can be easy, but for some belief systems, especially like around money, around love, worthiness, like some of those things are not so easy to shift, and I'm not going to pretend like they are. Like, it does take, like I said, repetition. That's one of the most important things when it comes to like working with rewiring your subconscious mind is repetition. And so like self-love is required in order for you to put that work in to yourself.
Right. And that commitment, right? It's repetition, but it's also that commitment to yourself, to the rewiring, because everything is connected. Everything is connected. Money, self-worth, love, the things that you're calling it's all interwoven. Think of it like a spider web. Like everything is just, it's connected.
And I think that in my experience, I needed self-love was at the core of it all, and focusing on myself was at the core of it all, and then that impacted every aspect of my life. Like, you might think that calling in money is not connected to self-love. It 100% is. You can actually change your belief system, and this is something that I'm wiring into that I haven't fully integrated and grounded into yet, but I'm in the process of it, is that money is a reflection of your self-love. So the more that you love on yourself, the more that you nurture yourself, the more that you take care of yourself, the universe will reward you financially. And that's coming from another person that I follow that is like, I think is so amazing. Her name was Lauren of Love, and like that teaching was like, big to me. Big. So
it unlocked another level. So guys, if you like this video, make sure that you like it, hit that subscribe button below, and stay tuned for more videos just like this. And as always,
take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.